Alright, here we are back at the Grognards Corner, looking at another under the hood for another game. This one is for Poland 1939 from Tactics and Strategy magazine. And on the cover here we have a Polish biplane that looks like it managed to shoot down, looks like a Heinkel HE-111. Way to go, biplane! Looks like it's attacking bombers in formation. Polska 1939, Poland 1939. We have the rule book, part of their K2 system. And a little bit of history. Again, this is all in Polish, but you can get the instructions in English. A bunch of some little diagrams. More diagrams, combat examples, how retreat works, supply lines, rail lines, and then the actual setup itself. It goes through unit by unit where they start for all the sides. A lot of units here, a lot of units. More setup, more setup, more setup. And then we have the actual unit step losses by each individual unit. You can photocopy these for your own use. A lot of these units have got a lot of steps. Some of them not so much. Even less. More step losses, like 5 pages of step losses. Even more than that, combat charts. More step losses. And more step losses. Lots and lots of unit step losses. Alright, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the counters. We have some Polish counters right here, if the camera will ever zoom into them. Now, since it goes off of a step reduction, the units don't have combat factors on them. They just have unit names, division, attachments, and where they start off with in their unit, higher unit organizations. You got some Germans, some German Panzer IIs. More. Some German headquarters units. Oh, look, more SS. I know that's going to make people happy. And then airstrike markers. Airstrike markers. More German units. Now, this is actually the first game that I got from them that did not have counters falling out of the sprues. We got Polish cavalry, Polish infantry, headquarters units, lots of headquarters units, more Polish infantry. You're not gonna see a lot of Polish armor. There just wasn't that many there. A lot of Polish infantry. Yep, there's another Polish armor. Cavalry. Oh, hey, look, there's a third Polish armor unit. Woo! And then we get into the Soviets, because they went ahead and jumped in the second week of the battle. Cavalry, infantry. They've got a bunch of armor. BT-2s. This is before the era of the T-34, so. Crappy Soviet armor, headquarters unit, more infantry, more armor, more headquarters units, Soviet bombers, more Soviet armor, more Soviet cavalry, and then I believe there's some Hungarian. I believe those guys are Hungarian, and there's some Romanian. I want to say Yugoslavian. I could be wrong. I know there are people out there seeing that flag and going, "You idiot! That's such and such." So you got a few different nationalities that could be involved in the fight. And then you have the unpunched administration markers, fuel markers for German and Soviet armor. Those are strategic moves, railroad move markers. Those are out of supply for the armor, out of supply. And then just more administrative markers, fortifications. Yeah, these got to be cut out. I know a lot of people don't like cutting them out. It's therapeutic, trust me. More strategic movement, more railroad movement, more railroad movement, more fortification markers. This is a big map. I'm going to say that right from the get-go. It takes 4 different sheets to actually set up the entirety of the map. Let's go ahead and zoom in on a couple places. The thick red lines are fortification areas, so if you're attacking across those, or the majority of the attack is coming across those, then you get bonuses. Then you've got these yellow numbers. Those are actually victory point locations. And if the Germans and the Russians can capture those victory point locations by the actual date, so like for right here, this one needs to be captured by the 6th. If it's captured on or before the 6th, the Germans get a victory point for it. If they don't capture it on the 6th, they don't. So here you have one on the 5th. You have one on the 8th. And then you just have more. And the solid squares are fortification units again, or fortified positions again. You got rivers and you got your woods. Come over here to the Soviets. Just a lot of areas. Some more. Take it by the 9th. Needs to be taken by the 11th, by the 14th. So, as I said in the podcast, the Poles really can't win this fight. There is no way to stop Germany and Russia from crushing them. But the Poles can do everything in their power to delay when the Germans and the Soviets capture things. And that actually will allow them to, win the game if they can slow them down more than the historical events. And then you got terrain effects chart right here. So it zooms in, or if it clears up a little bit. And you got your combat effects chart. And your victory chart over here. And that is Poland 1939 from Tactics and Strategy.